good evening, everyone. Yes. So thank you for the confirmation. Now, before going to start, let me ask you one question. So anybody has any idea what was the purpose of DevOps or why DevOps? Any idea? So whether it is right or wrong, you can answer, guys. So basically, these sessions are going to be the interactive sessions from the day one to till the end of our course. Now, what was the purpose of DevOps or why DevOps? Any idea? So now let me tell you why DevOps. So let's say if you're trying to book a mobile or if you're trying to book a phone. So in market, majorly we are having two e-commerce applications, right or not? In market, we are having two e-commerce applications. What are they? So absolutely, it is going to be the Amazon as well as Flipkart, right? Absolutely, it's going to be Amazon as well as Flipkart. So the same mobile, Amazon can deliver within 3 days. Let me write it down. Flipkart. So the same mobile, whereas in Amazon, it can deliver within 3 days. Within 3 days, it can deliver. So it is going to be like 7 days for the Flipkart. So which one we will choose, sir? Which one we will choose?
Amazon.
Amazon. So here my question was, why Amazon? Why Amazon?
Fast delivery.
Fast delivery, right? So in the similar way, the same way, if you want to create any application, if you want to create any application or any software, if you want to create any application or any software, DevOps is the fastest way. DevOps is the fastest way. So clear for all of you why DevOps now? If you want to create any application or any software, DevOps is the fastest way. Now, so let's say if you want to create any software or if you want to create any application, so here we should follow the life cycle called SDLC. What we need to follow here? Here we need to follow the SDLC, nothing but software development life cycle. So we are the humans, right? We are having the human life cycle. In a similar way, for the software also, there is a life cycle called SDLC, nothing but your software development life cycle. Software development life cycle. Now, so see here, in the software development life cycle, majorly I am having two teams, guys. How many teams I am having here? I am having the two teams. So one was the development team. One was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. The second one was the operational team. So in the SDLC, totally how many teams I am having here? I am having the two teams. So one was the development team. So the second one was the operational team. So the things that are done by the development team. So first, what they will do, sir? So they are going to do like plan. What they are going to do first? Plan. Next, after plan, what we are having here? We are having the code. So after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. So after build, what we are having? We are having the test. So totally, these things are done by the development team. These things are developed by the development. So after development team, what we are having here? We are having the operational team. What we are having? We are having the operational team. So the things that are done by the operational team. First, what they will do? They are going to do deploy, operate, as well as monitor they are going to do. So totally in the SDLC, how many stages I am having? I am having the 7 stages. I am having the 7 stages. So what are they? Plan, code, build, as well as test. And also we are having deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Now let us discuss one by one. What is meant by plan, code, build, as well as test, and also deploy, operate, as well as monitor. Let us discuss one by one. So the first thing is about what, sir? It is going to be the plan. Now, what is meant by plan? So let me tell you with simple example. Let's say if you are trying to construct a building, you are trying to construct a building. So ultimately, we should have the plan, right? Or you're trying to construct a building. So ultimately, we should have the plan first. So the first point is about like how many stairs we are going to be construct. How many stairs we are going to be construct. Next, what type of materials we are going to be used in our building? What type of materials we are going to be used in our building? How many workers we are going to be implement in our building? How many workers we are going to be implement in our building? Next, what is the timeline for our building? What is the timeline for our building? Next, what is the budget for our building? This is completely about the plan, right? So if you want to construct a building, ultimately we should have the plan first. So the point number 1 is going to be how many stairs we are going to be construct, what type of materials we are going to be used in our building, how many workers we are going to be implement in our building, what is the timeline for your building? Nothing but you want to create your building within 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. Next, what is the budget for your building? Nothing but the money. So this is completely about the plan, guys. This is completely about the plan. Okay. So in the similar way, if you want to create any application, we should have the plan first. We should have the plan first. So what exactly undercome plan? So the first point is about name of the application. Let's say I am going to create the Paytm application. What we are going to create here? We are going to create the Paytm application. Next. So the point number 2. How many services we are going to be implement in our building? How many services we are going to be implement in our building? Like services are nothing but recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets. How many services we are going to be implement in our application? Next, what type of language you want to implement? So let's say you are going to write your Paytm application in the Java language or in .NET or in Python. So on which language you want to create your application? Next, point number 4. How many developers you want to implement in your Paytm application? How many developers you want to implement in your Paytm application? Next, point number 5. What is the timeline for your application? So you want to create your application within 1 year or within 2 years or within 3 years. What is the timeline for your application? Next, on which cloud you want to create your Paytm application? On which cloud you want to create your Paytm application? So now just tell me how many clouds that are available in the market majorly?
Three major: AWS, GCP, and Azure.
Perfect. So AWS, Azure as well as GCP. So on which cloud you want to implement your Paytm application? Great. So point number 7. What is the budget for your application? Nothing but the money. So this is completely about the plan, guys. This is completely about the plan. So anybody has any doubts over the plan here? So the first one is about the name of the application. So the second one is about the how many services you want to implement in your Paytm application. So here services are nothing but recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets as well as bus tickets. Next, so the point number 3, on which technology you want to create your Paytm application. So you want to create your Paytm application within Java language or .NET or in Python. So on which technology you want to create your Paytm application. Next, point number 4, how many developers you want to implement in your Paytm application. Let's say I want to implement totally 5 developers in my Paytm application. What is the timeline for your application? So you want to create your application within 1 year or 2 years or in 3 years. Next, point number 6. On which cloud you want to create your Paytm application? So in market, majorly I am having the AWS, also I am having the Azure, now GCP. So totally we are having 3 major clouds in the market. On which cloud you want to create your Paytm application? Next, the final point is going to be like, what is the budget for your application? Nothing but the money. So this is completely about the plan. So now next, after plan, what we are having here? We are having the code. What we are having here? We are having the code. Now, what is meant by code? What is meant by code? Let me tell you. Let's say whatever the developers I have involved in my planning phase, whatever the developers I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So let's say totally I have implemented 5 developers on my plan. So whatever the developers I have involved in my planning phase, these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements. So here what's my requirement? Recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets as well as bus tickets. Right or not? So these 5 developers are going to write the code in the Java format regarding our services. And also I want to add one more point here. So as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to write any code. So it's going to be the 100% free of 100% by the developers. Nothing but the code, guys. So after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. What we are having here? We are having the build. So now what is meant by build? Let me take. So see here, let me ask you one question. Let's say totally I am having 5 developers. So these developers are written the code in the Java format. In which format they have written? They have written in the Java format. So when we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right? When we see the Java code, we can able to read it, right or not? So this is completely human readable language. This is completely human readable language. Right or not? But at the end, whatever the code we are having, whatever the code we are having, we need to place those code over the server. Where we need to place? We need to place this code over the server. So remember, server, mission, laptop, all are the same. Server, machine, laptop, all are the same. So at the end, whatever the code I am having, I need to place my code over the server. But my server can able to understand only binary level language, nothing but the lower level language. So other than this, mission can't understand anything. Other than this, mission can't understand anything. So now, what I need to do here, I need to convert my human readable language into mission understandable language. Nothing but the binary level language are called build guys. Converting the human readable language into mission understandable language. Nothing but the binary level language are called build. Now, after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. What we are having here? We are having the test. Now, what is mean by test? So see, let's say initially what we have created? We have created the Paytm application. What we have created? We have created the Paytm application. So, in that Paytm application, what we have created, guys? We have created the recharge, bank transactions, recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets we have created. Right up. Now, let's say one of our user is trying to access our Paytm application. So one of our user is trying to access our Paytm application. So that too, he is trying to access the bank transaction. That too, he is trying to access the bank transaction. So he know, right, how much amount was there in his bank account. Ultimately he know. So let's say he is having totally 10,000 rupees in his bank account. He is having totally 10,000 rupees in his bank account. But the moment he is accessing our Paytm application, that to bank transactions, it is showing only 1,000 rupees. It is showing only 1,000 rupees. So this is going to be the bug, right? This is going to be the error, right? So this type of bugs, this type of errors has been resolved in the testing part. Has been resolved in the testing. Now, who will do testing? Who will do testing?
Testing
Ultimately,
team,
yeah,
testers.
we are having the QA team, quality and analysis, nothing but the testers. So ultimately, testers will do test here. So as a DevOps engineer, we are not going to be the responsible. So see here, totally we have done with the 4 points. So we have done with the plan, code, build, as well as test. So anybody has any doubts over these 4 points here? Any doubts from these 4 points? So just try to confirm me in chat box so that I can know. So that's perfect. Next. After this, what we are having, guys? We are
Uh,
having the, yeah, okay.
I have a question. Like, um, uh, Tell me one thing, like before going to in depth of DevOps and learn AWS or Azure. So, what are the minimum basics and a person need to be there? Like, I heard it is like we need to get Linux basics.
Yes.
Rather than that, what else we need to start with it
No,
and
no.
to cope up with it?
So basically, before going to start the DevOps, so we should know about the Linux. So our course are going to be start from the Linux only.
Okay.
So when you are joining to this course, so you guys are no need to have any prerequisites. So it's completely going to be from scratch itself.
So, like, for suppose if it is AWS, how many modules we can cover? Why? Because if we cover Linux and the modules also, it will take more time, right?
Yeah, we are going to cover around 25 plus services in the
Okay.
AWS. Whereas in the
Okay.
Azure, it's going to be 35.
In which it was 35?
Azure.
Azure. Okay.
So all the DevOps tools we are going to be covered.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thank you.
Next. So after test, what we are having here? We are having the deploy. Now, what is meant by deploy? So see here, whatever the code I am having in my server, whatever the code I am having, so at the end, we need to deploy those code over the server. Here, deploy is nothing but, so whatever the 100% test cases passed code, I'm repeating again, 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but deployment. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code, placing those code over the server are nothing but deployment. What we are going to call? We are going to call this as deployment. So simply we are going to call this as whatever the code I am having, we need to place those code over the server, right or not? So the process is going to be the deployment. So simply we are going to call this as deploy. So after deploy, what we are having here? We are having the operate. What we are having? We are having the operate. Now, what is meant by operate? So see here, let's say this is my server. This is my server. So in my server, I am having my Paytm application. I am having my Paytm application. So let's say my server capacity was 100 members. What was the server capacity here? 100 members. But the users are accessing my Paytm application from the server was about 100 plus members. 100 plus members are accessing my Paytm application from this server. So ultimately, at certain point of time, my server is going to be down, right or not? Why? Because my server capacity was 100, but the users are accessing my Paytm application from the server was 100 plus members. So at certain point of time, what will happen? Our server is going to be down. Okay. So here making the availability of 24 by 7, making the availability of 24 by 7, my server as well as 24 by 7, my application are nothing but the operate. So I'm going to repeat one more time. So see here, once I have deployed my application over the server, so ultimately users are trying to access it. So let's say my server capacity was 100 members, but the user accessing my application from the server was 100 plus members. So at certain point of time, what will happen? Our server is going to be down. So here making the availability of 24 by 7, my server as well as 24 by 7, my application are nothing but operate. So after operate, what we are having here? we are having the monitor. What we are having here? We are having the monitor. Now, what is meant by monitor? So see here. Let's say this is my server. This is my server. So in my server, I am having my Paytm application. Okay. In my server, I am having the Paytm application. So when the users are accessing my application from the server, so automatically the server's utilizations, nothing but the CPU as well as RAM is going to be increased. Automatically, my CPU as well as RAM is going to be increased. Let's say at certain point of time, it crosses the threshold value, crosses the mount value. Again, my server is going to be down. Again, my server is going to be down. So here, monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but the monitor. Monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but what? It is going to be the monitor. So clear for all of you? What is meant by monitor?
Yes.
So as we can see here, so totally we have done with the 7 points. So we have done with the plan, code, build as well as test. And also we have done with the deploy, operate as well as monitor. So now let me recap it one more time. So plan is nothing but, so in the plan what we are having, what type of application we are going to create. Let's say I'm going to create the Paytm application, name of the application. Next, what we are having, how many services we are going to be implement. So services are nothing but the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets as well as bus tickets. Now next point is about what? How many developers we are going to be implement. Next, what type of language we are going to be use, what type of cloud we are going to be implement, what is the timeline for your application. This is completely about the plan. So after plan, what we are having, we are having the code. Now what is meant by code here? So whatever the developers I have involved in my planning phase, so these developers are going to write the code according to my requirements, nothing but the code. So after code, what we are having? We are having the build. Now, what is meant by build? So converting the human readable language into machine understandable language are nothing but build. So after build, what we are having? We are having the test. So here testers will do test. As a DevOps engineer, we are not going to be the responsible for that. So testers will do test here. So after test, what we are having? We are having the deploy. Now, what is meant by deploy? So whatever the 100% test cases passed code we are having, placing those code over the server are nothing but the deployment. So simply we are going to call this as deploy. So after deploy, what we are having? We are having the operate. So making the 24/7 availability of your server as well as your application are nothing but the operate. So after operate, what we are having? We are having the monitor. Now what is meant by monitor? So monitoring the CPU as well as RAM utilizations are nothing but monitor. So clear for all of you? Up to this we have discussed. Any doubts from the 7 points? No. So totally here my question was like, development team has done their part. Development team has done their part. And also operational team is doing their job well. Operational team has doing their job well. So now here my question was, where is the DevOps involvement? Where is the DevOps involvement? Let me tell you. So see here, the moment when I have deployed my application over the server, my application has been failed. My application has been failed. So once our application has been failed in the server, ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between development team as well as operational team. So ultimately there will be a lot of confusion between your development team as well as operational team. So what was the confusion here? So see here, let's say once our application has been failed in the server, the operational team will say to the development team. What they will say? Our application has been failed in the server. Our application contains bugs. Our application contains bugs. Our application contains errors. So these type of reasons operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100%, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you. Whatever the 100% test cases passed code we have given to you, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. Okay, so once our application has been failed in the server, operational team will say what they will say, guys. So our application contains bugs, our application contains errors. So these type of reasons, operational team will say to the development team. But development team, what they will say, whatever the 100% test cases passed code we are having. So we have given that code, you haven't performed operational well. So that's the reason our application has been failed. Okay, so to avoid this confusion, to break this confusion, we are having the DevOps team. To avoid this confusion, to break this confusion, what we are having here, we are having the DevOps team. So as we can see here, in the DevOps, the first three letters will represent Dev, nothing but the development team. The first three letters will represent nothing but the development team. So the last three letters will represent ops, nothing but the operational team. So together called DevOps. So this team is going to involve in the both the teams. So remember guys, so we are not going to write any code. So we are going to involve in the development team as well as operational team. So clear now how DevOps was came? That's great. Next. So after this, what we are having here? We are having the DevOps lifecycle. So when you see the DevOps logo, ultimately it is going to represent one symbol. What was that? Any idea? When you see the DevOps logo, it is going to represent one symbol. So what was that? Perfect. Infinity. What was that? Infinity. Now, what is meant by infinity? What is meant by infinity? Great. Loop. It means never ending. Right or not? It's going to be the loop. Yeah, anything is fine. Never ending process. So, in the same way, DevOps also having the never ending process. So, let me tell you why DevOps has never ending process. So, initially, what we have created the Paytm application. Right? We have created the Paytm application. So, in the Paytm application, what we have created, totally we have created 5 services. So, we have created the recharge, bank transactions, movie tickets, train tickets, as well as bus tickets we have created. So let's say this is my Paytm application version 1. This is my Paytm application version 1. So to create my Paytm application version 1, what I have done? I have done the plan, code, build, and also we have done test. Now, and also we have done deploy, operate, as well as monitor we have done. Right or not? To create the Paytm application version 1, what we have created, I mean to say what we have done the plan, code, build, test, and also we have done deploy, operate, as well as monitor. So there will be another phase called release. So as of now, you can ignore this part. So in upcoming sessions, so you guys are not that like what is meant by release. Okay, as of now you can ignore this. Now let's say after some time, the Paytm owner has come up with new idea. What is saying means my Paytm application is booming in the world. My Paytm application is booming in the world. So I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to Paytm application version 2. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 1 to Paytm application version 2. So when you are upgrading from the old version to the new version, so ultimately you need to implement some new features. Let's say in the Paytm application version 2, I am having 7 services. So old 5 and 2 new features I want to implement. So again, to create 2 new features, what I need to do? I need to do the plan. I need to do the plan. So here my plan was like, I want to implement ETH, as well as metro tickets. Metro tickets I want to implement. So regarding this ETH as well as metro tickets, I need to write the code. We need to build it. We need to test it. We need to deploy, operate as well as monitor. We need to do. Again, I am going to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to Paytm application version 3. I want to upgrade from Paytm application version 2 to Paytm application version 3. So in the version 3, totally I want to implement 10 features. I want to implement 10 features. So old was 7, new 3. So to create 3 new features, again what I need to do? I need to plan. I mean to say we have done the plan, right? So later what I need to do? We need to do the code, build, and also we need to do test, deploy, operate, as well as monitor we need to do. Right or not? So again, if you want to upgrade from version 3 to version 4, again what we need to do here? Plan, code, build, test, deploy, operate, as well as monitor we need to build. So as you can see here, when the versions are increasing, these loop are repeating. Right or not? When the versions are increasing, this loop is repeating. So that's the reason DevOps has never ending process. So clear for all of you why DevOps has a never ending process? So clear? Now that's great. So after this, what we are having? We are having the before DevOps. What we are having here? Before DevOps. So actually DevOps was come in the year of 2009. In which year DevOps was come? Was come in the year of 2009. But as we are in before 2009, if you want to create any application, what type of methodologies they are going to use? So they are going to use like waterfall methodology. What they are going to use here? They are going to use like waterfall methodology. So as we are moving from the waterfall model to the DevOps model, as we are moving from waterfall models to the DevOps model, so ultimately we are having some drawbacks in the waterfall model. Right? As we are moving from waterfall model to the DevOps model, so ultimately we are having some drawbacks in the waterfall methodology. So what was the drawback here? So before going to discuss about the drawback, let me ask you one question like, so let's say this is me. Let's say this is me. So totally I am at waterfalls. I am at waterfalls. So my water was started at here. My water was started at here. So after some time, my water was at here. After some time, my water was at here. So here my question was, did my water will go up again? Did my water will go up again? Online. So ultimately, no, right? In a similar way, in the same way, this is the waterfall model workflow. This is the waterfall model workflow. So if you have failed in the verification part, if you have failed in the verification part, you can't go back to the implementation phase. You can't go back to the implementation phase. Or if you have failed in the implementation phase, you can't go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can't go back to the previous step. We can't go back to the previous step. And also, to come to the verification part, it has been taken 3 years of time. Has been taken 3 years of time. So totally we have wasted our time, right or not? We have wasted our time. And also, for these 3 years of time, I need to provide the salaries for the developers. I need to provide the salaries for the developers. So we have loosened our money. So in the waterfall model, what was the major drawback here? So we can't go back to the previous step. We can't go back to the previous step. And also here we are going to be waste our time, and also we are going to waste our money as well. So this was the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model. So clear now? Online. So you can confirm in chat box, or else do I need to repeat it again? So remember guys, so I can repeat number of times for you. So all I need here, so response. Clear? That's great. Now, next, after this, what we are having? We are having the agile methodology. So remember, what are the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model has been overcome in the agile methodology. Has been overcome in the agile methodology. So see here, what exactly the mean of agile methodology? So let's say I'm having the Paytm application. I'm having the Paytm application. So in the Paytm application, totally I'm having 15 services. How many services I'm having here? I'm having the 15 services. So now let us try to split 5, 5, and then 5, 5, 5, and then. So see, dividing the larger application, dividing the larger application into the into the parts, releasing them as a sprint, are nothing but the agile methodology. So dividing the larger application into the parts and releasing them as a sprint are nothing but what? Agile methodology. Now here my question was, what is the drawback? I mean to say, what about the drawback? Let's say the drawback was come like, we can't go back to the previous step. We can't go back to the previous step, right or not? So in the agile methodology, if you have failed in the test part, we can go back to the build phase. Or if you have failed in the build phase, you can go back to the designing part. So ultimately, we can able to go to the previous step. We can able to go to the previous step. So once we are moving to the previous step, ultimately we can save our time. And also we can save our money as well. So whatever the drawbacks that are present in the waterfall model has been overcome in the agile methodology. So nowadays, most of the projects are in the Agile methodology itself. So if you want to implement the Agile methodology, you need to learn the DevOps tools. So clear for all of you about the Agile methodology? Now again here, what is meant by sprint first? So sprint is nothing but a timeline, setting the time. Sprint is nothing but a timeline. So that's great. Next. So after this, what we are having? We are having the DevOps history. So DevOps was oriented in the year of 2008. But what I have said? I have said in the year of 2009. Actually, DevOps was come in the year of 2009 only. So see here. Originally, it was a discussion between two people. Who are they? Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. It was a discussion between Patrick DBS as well as Andrew Clay. So in the year of 2009, they held a summit at Belgium. So what was the summit here means? So what if DevOps comes into the market? That was the summit happened at Belgium. In which year guys? In 2009. So after this summit, the DevOps has introduced. Okay. Now, so in the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. So what if DevOps comes into the market? Like I meant to say in the year of 2014, the annual state DevOps report was published. So what was the report here? In that report, it is saying like, so DevOps is going to be booming in the world. So it's going to be very high demand in the market. So that was the report submit in the year of 2014. So if DevOps had a birth certificate, then the father would be Patrick Davies. So ultimately, he is the inventor of DevOps. Ultimately, he is the inventor of DevOps. So this is completely about the history. Next. So after this, what we are having? We are having tools we used in the DevOps. Tools we used in DevOps. So see here, this slide was very important. So what type of tools we are having and what we are going to learn in our course. So we are going to discuss on. So see here. So this is completely about the SDLC process, right or not? So in the SDLC, what was the first stage? We are having here plan. What we are having here? We are having the plan. So for the planning purpose, we are not going to learn any tool. We are not going to learn any tool. So why we are not going to learn in any tool here means, so in the planning, what we are having, what type of application we are going to create, how many services we are going to be implement, so what type of language we are going to be use. So this is completely about the plan, right? So for the planning purpose, we are not going to learn any tool, and also we are not having any tool. Okay. Next. After plan, what we are having? We are having the code. We are having the code. So for the coding purpose, let's say at the end, who will write the code, guys? At the end, who will write the code? Developer will write the code. So after writing the code, we need to save that code. After writing the code, we need to save that code. To save our code, we are going to learn the Git, GitHub, and also we are going to learn the Azure repos. Azure repos we are going to learn. Git we are going to learn. We are going to learn the GitHub, and also we are going to learn the Azure repos. Next, after code, what we are having here? We are having the build. What we are having? We are having the build. Now, so to build our code, we are having the number of tools. So we are having like Maven and Gradle. So we are going to learn like Maven. What we are going to learn here? We are going to learn the Maven. And Gradle, all are the old tools, guys. Nowadays, no one is using. So remember, whatever the trending tools in the market we are having currently, so we are going to learn that tools. Okay. So in our course, we are going to learn the Maven. So after build, what we are having here? We are having the test. What we are having? We are having the test. So to test our code, we are having the Selenium as well as JUnit. What we are having? We are having Selenium as well as JUnit. So actually these tools was handled by the testers. We are not going to use these tools. Now, next. After this, what we are having? We are having the deploy. So to deploy our code, we are having the number of tools. So we are having the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Stack, as well as Ansible. So to deploy our code, we are having the Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Stack, as well as Ansible we are having. But what we are going to learn? So we are going to learn like Docker as well as Ansible we are going to learn. We are going to learn like Docker as well as Ansible. So Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, so Stack, all are the old tools. So nowadays no one is using. Next. So after deploy, what we are having? We are having the operate. We are having the operate. So to operate our application, to operate our servers, so we are having like again Docker as well as Ansible. So, but most important tool, which was trending tool, without this tool, he's not a DevOps engineer. Okay, so it's going to be the Kubernetes. Yeah, I mean to say I haven't mentioned the Kubernetes here, but the operating purpose we are going to learn the Kubernetes only. So for the Docker as well as Kubernetes, we are going to spend a very lot of time. So it's going to be around 30 days. We are going to learn very in depth in the Docker as well as Kubernetes. Okay, so since I'm having like 6+ years of experience in the DevOps, whatever the knowledge I'm having, I'm going to deliver entire my knowledge here. After operate, what we are having? We are having the monitor. So to monitor our application, to monitor our infrastructure, so we are going to like, I mean to say we are going to learn like ELK. I mean to say we are having ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios. So actually these ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios, all are the old one guys. So currently the market are using Prometheus and Grafana. Prometheus and Grafana. So in our course, we are going to learn the Prometheus as well as Grafana. So if time permits, we are going to deliver like ELK, Splunk as well as Nagios. So all are the, I mean to say very small tools that one. So I'm going to deliver all those tools. No problem. And also we are having like, we are going to learn Terraform. We are going to learn Nexus, SonarCube, Tomcat we are going to learn. And also the basic fundamental point was here. We are going to learn Linux as well. So our course is going to be start from the Linux itself. We're going to start the Linux. So this is my development team. This is my operational team. So to integrate these both the teams, we are having the Jenkins. To integrate these both the teams, we are having the Jenkins. So for the Jenkins alternates, we are having the Bamboo as well as Hudson. We are having the Bamboo as well as Hudson. So nowadays no one is using the Bamboo as well as Hudson. So all are using the Jenkins. So we are going to learn the Jenkins here. So remember, if you are AWS DevOps engineer, you are AWS DevOps engineer, so you are going to work with Jenkins. Or if you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are Azure DevOps engineer, you are going to work with Azure CI/CD pipeline. So in both we are going to work with pipelines only, but the naming convention are different again. Azure CI/CD. So clear for all of you? So we are going to learn both Jenkins as well as Azure CI/CD. We are going to learn. So clear for all of you, whatever, I mean to say, what type of tools we are having and what we are going to learn in our course? So all clear for all of you. What type of tools we are having and what we are going to learn in our course? That's great and then perfect. Now, so guys, so that's it from my end for today. So if you have any doubts over this session, you can ask, and also you can ask like your any other queries as well regarding the course content, career,